Metacognition. There is a voice in your head narrating right now. You just heard it. That flicker of wait. What voice? That was it, catching itself. Here's the strange truth almost no one is told. You have a narrator. It's been talking your whole life, running commentary on every room, every threat, every decision, feeding you conclusions you've mistaken for facts. And most leaders go their entire careers without once turning to look at it. Metacognition is what happens when you do. What it actually is. Metacognition is thinking about your thinking. Watching your own mind work while it works. It's the difference between being in the reaction and standing one step back from it. Close enough to feel it. Far enough to choose what to do with it. Strip away the academic language, and here's what it is on the ground. The ability to catch yourself, to notice the story you're telling before you act on it, to see the blind spot while it's still a blind spot, not after it cost you the mission. It's the gap, the narrow space between what happens to you and what you do next. Most people live their whole careers without knowing that gap exists. Leaders who last learn to live inside it. How it gets withheld. Nobody hands you this, and the thing that took it from you wasn't a person. It was the tempo. You came up in systems that ran on speed. React fast. Answer first. The leader who paused was the leader who looked unsure, and unsure got passed over. So the whole culture trained one reflex into you above all others. Don't slow down. But metacognition only lives in the pause. The half second of reflection is the exact half second command culture taught you to skip. You don't lose this skill because you're not capable of it. You lost it because every incentive around you rewarded the move that skips it. Speed became identity. And somewhere in there, the ability to watch your own mind got filled under luxury I don't have time for. That's the withholding, not malice. Momentum. Why you and why it's not weakness. You think the problem is that you react too fast. The problem is that no one ever told you the pause was a position of strength. In the field, the operator who can stay calm enough to observe their own state, heart rate climbing, judgment narrowing, fear talking, that's the one who makes it home. Not because they don't feel it, because they can see themselves feeling it and still choose. That's not weakness. That's the highest form of command there is. Command over the one piece of terrain you actually control. your own mind. You already have the instinct. You read rooms. You feel the shift before others name it. Metacognition just turns the radar inward. Same skill, new direction. The leadership impact. When you can't watch your own thinking, your blind spots run your operation. You repeat the same conflict with 3 different people and never see the common factor, you. You read your assumptions as facts. You mistake your mood for the situation. And you make calls from a place you can't even see. Then wonder why they keep going sideways. But when you can watch it, everything changes downstream. You catch the bias before it sets the strategy. You separate "I'm threatened" from "this is a threat." You stop defending positions you only took because someone pushed. And you start choosing positions because they're right. Your team feels it too. A leader who can self-correct in real time is a leader people trust to be told the truth because they've watched you tell yourself the truth first. How to take it back? You take it back by building the pause back in on purpose. First, name the state before the story. When the heat rises, before you decide what's happening out there, check what's happening in here. I'm defensive right now. I'm spun up. Naming it breaks its grip. You can observe and be fully captured at the same time. Second, run the after action on yourself. Not just what happened, but what was I thinking when it happened, and was it accurate? Debrief your own decisions the way you debrief a mission. Where did the read go wrong? What did I assume that I never checked? And build the slower tempo right into it. Make yourself wait the extra beat before the next call, so reflection stops being a luxury and becomes the standard. Third, ask the question that opens the gap. What if I'm wrong about this? Not to undercut yourself, to test the ground before you put your full weight on it. What it feels like to stand in it. It feels quieter than you'd expect. Because the noise you're used to, the automatic defending, the instant reacting, goes still. And that stillness, for the first time, you can hear yourself decide. It feels like room, like there's suddenly space between you and the moment, and in that space, you're free. Not jerked around by every challenge, not hostage to your own first reaction. It feels like authority that comes from the inside out. You're not performing certainty anymore. You're operating from a mind you can actually see. From the coaching chair, I worked with a leader I'll call Renee. Operations executive, sharp as they come, and exhausted. She kept losing the same meeting. Every time a particular VP pushed back, she hardened. Take the room down with her and walk out having won the argument and lost the relationship. She was convinced he was the problem. So I gave her one assignment. Don't change anything, just watch. Catch the thought in the half second before you harden. She came back the first week with nothing. Told me flatly that watching her own mind felt like navel gazing, and she didn't have time for it. I told her to keep going anyway. The gap doesn't open on the first knock. 2 weeks, she got quiet on the call. Then she said, "It's not him. When he pushes, I hear you don't belong here, and I go to war with that, not with him." There it was, the whole pattern lit up. Once she could see the story, she could set it down. The next time he pushed, she stayed in the gap. And she said calmly, "Walk me through your concern." The meeting didn't go sideways. It went forward. Nothing changed but her ability to watch her own mind. Everything downstream of that changed with it. Final reflection. The most dangerous terrain you will ever lead across is the one inside your own head, because it's the one you've never been taught to map. Metacognition isn't a soft skill. It's a discipline of staying awake while you decide. And it's available to you the moment you're willing to slow down long enough to watch. What story are you acting on right now that you've never once stopped to check? And when you find it, can you meet it gently, the way you'd want to be met? Closing. This is foresight. I see you, and I'll see you next time.